we begin our chapel every month with someone ringing the bell. Today it's going to be Lawrence, but if you're excited to be a bell ringer, come tell me and you can be next. We usually ring the bell the number of times of the hour that we are in. But we thought it would be very boring to ring it once, so we're going to ring it 12 times. So what I'd like you to do is sit quietly while Lawrence rings it, and I want you to listen. The last ring of that bell, I want you to listen closely, pay attention to it, and I want you to notice how long you can pay attention to it until you absolutely can't hear it anymore. This is actually a mindfulness technique that a lot of people do. They listen to a bell fading off, and that's their way of staying present on what they hear. So with that said, Lawrence, give us the bell. Right. Before we start with our opening reading that we do together, I want to just say that the goal of chapel is for it to be in all the students involved, as many as we can. So today, students are going to do all the readings. When you see something that says all, written in bold, I would like you just to read that together. You'll see at the end of every reading, there's going to be a response that you say. So we begin every chapel with the lighting of a peace candle. This is our chance to step outside ourselves and think about all the places in the world or in our communities where there is no peace, where we're striving for peace. And this is a chance to think about that, pray about that, hold these people in these places in your heart as we light the candle and enjoy some music, which is going to be played by midnight. Skipped over our opening chapel covenant, so we're going to do this in reverse. We are going to together read what's called the Rectory Chapel Covenant. A covenant is a promise. That word is another word for promise. And this is our promise to each other that we're going to respect each other's beliefs and respect each other's stories and each other's presence here together, which also means not talking when other people are talking. Okay? So let's do this together. We are each on a sacred journey to understand who we are in the context of the wide and wonderful world we share with one another. Though our neighbors' journeys may at times seem different than our own, We honor, respect, and celebrate that each one of us is wonderfully created, each one of us is special, and each person's journey is indeed sacred. And now we will move on to the first reading.
Then he said, "Do not come here, remove your sandals from your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground. For they also built themselves high places and sacred pillars of Asherim on every high hill and beneath every mustering tree."
And we say together, chapel is a sacred time and place.
Silence of the heart is necessary so you can hear God everywhere. In the closing of the door, in the person who needs you, in the birds that sing, in the flowers, in the animals.
We say together, we honor the silence of our chapel time together.
I was standing on the highest mountain of them all, and round about beneath me was the whole hoop of the world. And while I stood there, I saw more than I could tell, and I understood more than I saw. For I was seeing in a sacred manner the shapes of all things in the Spirit. And the shape saw that the sacred hoop of my people was one of many hoops that made one circle, wide as daylight and as starlight. And in the center grew one mighty flowering tree to shelter all the children of one mother and one father. And I saw that it was holy. But anywhere is the center of the world.
We strive to live together in peace. And we talk about sacred places, and Regina and Tori and I were talking about this as they were choosing a song. We talk about places that are sacred, which we'll talk about later. Places that are special to us, places that bring us joy or nostalgia or are very held dear to us. So they chose this song. Play. Karaoke.
Last night I dreamt of San Pedro. Just like I'm never gone, I knew the song. A young girl with eyes like the desert. It all seems like yesterday, not far away. Tropical, the island breeze, all of nature wild and free. This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita. And when the samba played, the sun would set so high, fill my ears and sting my eyes, their Spanish lullaby. I fell in love with San Pedro. Warm winds carried on the sea, he called to me. They went so fast, tropical, the island breeze, all of nature wild and free. This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita. And when the samba played, the sun would set so high, ring through my ears and sting my eyes, your Spanish lullaby. Oh, Tropical, the island breeze, all of nature wild and free. This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita. And when the samba played, the sun would set so high, ring through my ears and sting my eyes, your Spanish lullaby. Tropical, the island breeze, all of nature wild and free. This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita. And when the samba played, the sun would set so high, ring through my ears and sting my eyes, your Spanish lullaby.
It is a travesty of true religion to consider one's own religion as superior and others as inferior. Religion is one tree with many branches. As branches, you may say religions are many, but as tree, religion is only one. Religions are not for separating men from one another. They are meant to bind them. All religions of the world describe God preeminently as the friend of the friendless, help of the helpless, and protector of the weak. All the great religions of the world inculcate equality and brotherhood of mankind and the virtue of tolerance. It was through the Hindu religion that I learned to respect Christianity and Islam.
We respect all religions and ideas during chapel.
In a library, you can find small miracles and truth. And you might find something that will make you laugh so hard you'll get shushed in the friendliest way. I have found sanctuary in libraries my whole life, and there is sanctuary there now. From the war, from the storms of our families and our own minds. Libraries are like mountains or meadows or creeks, sacred spaces. So this afternoon, I'll walk to the library.
We share our stories during chapel.
We keep moving forward, opening new doors, and doing new things, because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths.
We support one another as we learn new things. I'd like to take this time to thank our readers and our musicians because we did a great job with very short notice. Let's give them a round of applause. So here we are at our first chapel, and the readings covered a variety of things, but let's just get a few words straightened out in our head. And I started to talk about one of them, that word sacred. Does anyone have, besides what I already said, does anyone have any other thing that comes to mind that you would use to define the word sacred? Anybody know? Oh, sorry, whose hand was up? Did you have your hand up? You're both volunteering each other.
Chauncey. Special.
Special. Okay, great. That's a great word to use for sacred. Any other words? No? Okay. That's memorable. Okay. And is there a hand somewhere here? All right. What is it?
Something that's sacred to you.
Something that's sacred to you, which is using the word in its own definition, but I think I know what you're getting at. Something that's important to you, maybe?
Yeah.
Great, Vicente. All right. So yeah, those are all great adjectives and descriptors. Often we hear the word sacred to mean religion and religious, and it in fact is used a lot in that context. But for the sake of our chapel today, you're going to see in all the upcoming chapels, but even today, I try to choose readings that come from a variety of religions, poets, authors, pop singers. I mean, we've used it all. So if it's a message that fits what we're talking about, it will be used. So this is not meant to be a place where any one religion is being necessarily featured. And what I would really love from all of you would be to get your ideas. And I've had in the past some students say, Ms. said, I found this reading that I think would be a great reading for chapel. Or I just read this in a book and I think it would be great for chapel. So I welcome that, okay? So that is the word sacred. And so this is a sacred place to us at Rectory. We know it's a sacred place to the people that go to church here on weekends. But it's a sacred place to Rectory. I hope it will become that to you because it is a place where we are, the word sacred also implies feeling safe. And I said this at yesterday's chapel, I'll say it again. I know Mrs. Anderson, one of her top priorities, if not the top priority, is that we are all safe at Rectory. And that doesn't just mean safe from physical harm, although it means that too. But it means emotionally safe, right? So that everybody here feels like they have a place to express who they are and feel safe to do so. To maybe let themselves be a little vulnerable without worrying that someone is going to ridicule them or tease them or not accept them. So first and foremost, if you take away only one thing about today, it is that this time and this place is sacred in that we should all be feeling safe to express, to share, to think what we think while we're sitting here in the pews, okay? So that's a big thing. Two of the readings talked about, or two of the things we shared actually were about something sacred. The library. Raise your hand if you feel really safe in a library, really comfortable, I should say. Yeah, for me, the library is like such a special place, right? I am at peace. I can escape into some other world of a book I'm reading. And I happen to think our library in particular is very welcoming that way. And then, of course, as I said before, Rakina and Tori sang a song about a place that to some people would be a sacred place. It's such a meaningful spot for them that transports them to something very special. And for some of you, it's walking out in nature. Is there anyone here that wants to share a spot that is sacred to them, that is like their special place?
My room.
Your room, exactly. It is your safe, protected space where you can be who you are. Anyone else want to share anything? The hockey rink. Okay, fair enough. I think for a lot of people, especially if you've been playing hockey since have you been playing since you were really little? Yeah. So it's like it's who you are, right? And I know this because I have a hockey son. Logan. Your sailboat. Yeah. I would imagine. I'm not a sailor, but I would imagine that would be absolutely the most peaceful thing to be doing. Any other ideas anyone want to share? The elevator. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry we don't have more elevators at Rectory. No, I'm not making fun of you. I just mean that really. Shh, let's hear about this. Say it. But hang on, Vicente. We're going with Chris for a minute. What were you going to say, Chris? The question is a place that you feel like it's a sacred place to you. It's a special, safe place for you. Do you still want to stick with that answer?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, the other word I want us to think about, and it ties into what Mrs. Ahansky has been talking about and will continue to talk about, and Mr. Woodard and Shield, is the idea of being welcome and belonging to a place. Some of you have been going to Rectory since you were really little, and this probably feels like home to you. Some of you are brand new here, and we want you to feel welcome here. And it may not be overnight that you feel welcome, but we all together, collectively, it's not the job of just the teachers. We need to create a space where we all feel welcome and that we belong. So just kind of for fun, I am curious, and we've done this in previous chapels, so help me out here. I'm gonna need some volunteers. I'm curious how we say the word welcome in different languages. So let's start with Korean. Can someone write it in Korean? Come on up, Max. So I'm gonna give you a piece of paper. I want you to write it nice and big, and then I want you to stand here for me. Okay? In Korean. How about Japanese? Is there someone that can write? All right, you guys wait here. Now, sometimes it's hard to talk about a word like welcome when it's a word that you might just be learning in English, right? Because you may think of the word only in your native language. So let's make sure we remember that when we speak to people. And let's hear all the different languages. So Logan, we'll start with you, nice and loud. Welcome. Vitaly.
欢迎，ようこそ。Bienvenidos. Aloha.
Hang on, we're going to talk about that word in English. And that is in the language of God. Okay? So we allowed aloha to come in there. That was someone over here that suggested it. Because sometimes the word hello has such a strong meaning that it actually also means welcome. So we decided to include that. All right, thank you to all of you. Okay, so the literal translation of the word in English is a person who's gladly received. Okay, gladly received. So there's that emotion of joy in there. And receiving means you bring someone into your fold, into your community. So that welcome is for all of us. And maybe if you missed a language, I apologize. I think we got everybody that whose hand was up. So we now know what sacred means, and we now know what welcome means. And those are really the most important things I want this chapel to be about today. I want you to all know that you should feel safe and welcome here into this sacred space, and hopefully it will be a place of belonging for you, which we're going to talk a lot more about with some of the orientation activities that are going to be following this week. So I'm going to close us with and we still have a few minutes, I know, so I'm going to close us with a song that is sort of a tradition at Rectory for those of you that are new. We have a group of teachers that love to sing. And we call ourselves, anybody remember what we call ourselves? Howlers! The Howlers. The Howlers. So, I know it's exciting. So if you were a Howler, come on up. All right, a little story about the Howlers is, for those that are new, is that you all remember the pandemic, right? So we suddenly, like all of you, had to quickly pivot and figure out how to keep chapel going. These people wanted chapel to keep going. So we did it online, and a lot of the teachers created music together, and we would record ourselves and share it with all of you, or all of the students that were there. And then we kept it going when we came back in person, and it just kind of stuck. And I would like to officially introduce our newest member of Howlers, Mrs. Anderson. And teachers, we do not hold auditions, so any teacher can come up here and do it. Okay, no auditions necessary. All right, so this is a song that you're going to help us with. It's a song by Philip Phillips. It's called Home. And there's one part of the song that you're going to help us sing. In this song, you're going to hear one part that goes, "No, you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home." So that's the part we hope you sing with us. "No, you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home." And then there's a whole section of oohs and ahs you can sing along. Ready? Hold on, as we go, as we roll on some familiar road. created a playlist on Spotify of songs that I hear that I think would be good for chapel, but I want these ideas to come from you also. So if you can think of a song that you really like that's appropriate for school and that would make sense to sing at a chapel, please tell me about it. Send it in an email. I can always listen and say, good song, just not for chapel, but no harm done if you just want to send me your ideas, because we want music that you like, okay? So thanks for singing along. We finish our chapel with Ariana, who's going to close us with, end us with a closing blessing, and then wait in your seats until we give you instructions on what to do.
May you always be welcomed by three things: in a garden in the summer, at a fireplace in the winter, and whatever the season, in the kind eyes of friends.